Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me again. So, this day I'm doing a tire repair on this 18-inch tire. Big screw that was stuck in there. It was leaking slowly but surely. Customer said the TPMS light didn't go off, but they heard as if a rock was stuck onto the tread of the tire. As they were driving, they checked it, and sure enough, it was a nail or a screw. So I'm taking off the valve core there to remove all the air. I'm marking the tire to the valve just so I don't have to rebalance it when I'm done patching. Marking the injury there, because once you take it off, sometimes, you just lose you're like, damn, where was that nail at? So this one's pretty big, but I like marking it just to make sure I don't lose where that injury was at. Going ahead, breaking the beads. Yeah, like I said, so customer said that the TPMS didn't go off, the light didn't go off, but they did hear that noise every time, like when they were driving. It sounded like a rock was stuck on there, so they pulled over. Sure enough, it was a large screw, and it was leaking, but it didn't go below like 29 psi. Otherwise, the TPMS light would have kicked on. But luckily, they cut it in time. It's a pretty good tire. That way, the tire doesn't get damaged. They kept on driving on a flat tire, it would have got damaged. Making sure the clamps clamp up good to the wheel. Lubing it up. I'm going to go ahead and remove this tire. Just being careful, TPMS sensor. All right, so it's off. Then I noticed right there that it was not a huge nail, but a screw, but it was a pretty long screw. So I'm getting my pliers, just regular pliers, and then cutters. Marking the injury on the inside, make sure I don't lose where it's at also. And those markings, you're not going to see the inside. It's going to go away once you buff the area on the inside, and on the outside, once you give it once you let the customer go on its way, that'll come off also. So yeah, like I said, it was pretty big long screw. There we go. Look, you got 3 inches. 3-inch long screw. Okay, now I have my awl, and I'm just making sure I don't lose how the screw went in, because when I use a carbide cutter to make the hole for the tire plug, I don't want to make another hole. I want to make sure I'm getting the orientation, the angle right. Usually, for the most part, the nail goes straight in and it's just a straight shot. But this one was at an angle. So, just to make sure I don't make another hole, I'm sticking to the same injury. Got to use that awl and, get the orientation, the angle right. So just setting it up on the tire spreader. And we're going to go ahead and use our drill and our carbide cutter to drill through the injury. So with this carbide cutter, we're taking off all the steel, kind of removing the steel from the inside of the tire, so we can put our plug through there, our 1/4-inch plug. And these are tire plugs. They're not those strings, those quick repair strings that you use like on the side of the road or whatever just to get you by. These are tire plugs. So that's why you got to drill, remove the steel that's on the inside of that hole, so you can put the 1/4-inch plug on there. And like I said, you want to be kind of cautious right here that you don't make another hole. You stick to the same injury hole. I'll make it another video later on when I get some more time on how to properly patch. So right now I'm getting the tire plug. I'm taking off the plastic that it has around it to protect the repair itself. I'm putting some vulcanizing cement on it, and then I'll put it into the hole. It has a insert. It looks like a little metal insert that just, you put it through, it sticks out of the tire on the outside tread, and you just pull it through as far as you want. As long as it doesn't go all the way through, as long as you got, you pull it through, and you could still cut a piece from the inside, you're good. Just cleaning up the excess vulcanizing cement, just so I have a clean work area on the inside of that tire. So I chopped off. I'm chopping off what's left of the plug. I'm chopping off what's left of the plug. Trying to chop it off flush to the inner liner of the tire. And then right now I'm going to be buffing it, so you kind of get the new patch that you're going to put on there. Put it in the center of the injury, and then kind of trace it. So that's what you're going to be buffing. Use my vacuum to vacuum all the dust off after buffing. Make sure it's a clean area. Now I'm putting buffing cleaner. It's kind of like brake cleaner, but it's especially when you're prepping the tire repair. It's called rubber prep. And just scrape off the rubber prep that you use, the liquid. And that leaves it clean and ready for you to put the vulcanizing cement. If you skip that cleaning step, the plug is not it won't stick. So you got to make sure it's a clean area. And then apply the vulcanizing cement as I'm doing here. And then after that, I'll be putting the patch on, and then I'll stitch it on there. And it'll be ready. So depending on the weather, when you're putting vulcanizing cement on there, you're not going to put the patch on there right after. You're gonna put the patch. You're gonna let the vulcanizing cement kind of dry up. And then depending on the weather, like I said, if it's cold, it's going to take a little longer to dry. And if it's hot, humid, it's going to dry up really quick. So, yeah, just make sure the vulcanizing cement isn't wet. It's supposed to be kind of dry. And it dries up pretty quick, even in the wintertime. You know, a minute, tops. When it's hot, couple seconds. Okay, so I put the patch on there. I'm stitching it down with what looks like a pizza cutter. But it actually puts pressure on the patch, so you get all the air bubbles out. Make sure the patch is on there, stitched on there good without any little air bubbles. And after that, put the butyl liner, whatever you did, like say you put the patch on there. And if you buffed a little bit more area than the patch, it's called butyl liner. You put it over that area, and just to seal everything up also. Like I said, I'll get into another video of just patching, but I just want to show you guys what I did on this day here. So patched up, and then you got your plug that extends out. All you got to do is cut that one up. Flush with the tread. And that's it. All patched up. Let's go ahead and mount it up. Final step is to mount it and then just double check our work, see if it holds air. And like I said in other video, when you properly patch a tire, it's gonna last you. That patch will last you the life of the tire. There's no worries. You shouldn't worry about that patch if it's gonna blow up or whatever. It'll blow up for some other reason. But if you do that patching job right, it's going to stay on there until you get rid of the tire, until you're done using the tire. Okay, just inflating it with some air. Beads are popping in. I always like just overinflating it a little bit, not too much. On the sidewall of the tire, it tells you how much max PSI the tire can take, so you never want to go above that. Just gonna throw the valve core in there, torque it up, and then double check our work real quick. Okay, you're gonna throw some soapy water on there, and just like when the screw was on there, it would have bubbled up right away. Just making sure. Don't want the customer to roll out of here and the light to come on again, or to come on. All patched up, ready to go back into service.